So it's not just the universal, small c, Catholic Church. It's the holy church. That word holy. Whenever we think of that word holy, what we tend to think of is, it's just so, pure. And it's, whenever something's holy, we think about it as just being so much better than everything. That's not what the word holy means. It's kind of come to mean that because God is holy. So then we take the other attributes of God and kind of apply it to the word holy. The word holy just means separate. Literally, it just means separate. But the idea of it is that it's something that is separated out, set apart for a special purpose. Specifically, a sacred purpose. There's all kinds of things in the Bible that is considered sacred, all kinds of things in our world that is considered sacred. But they're not really. I remember talking to a friend of mine who was a Catholic, oddly enough, and the issue came up about holy water. You know where they get holy water from? Yeah, the sink. That's where they get holy water from. But they take that water and they set it apart for a special purpose. Being holy doesn't actually mean that there's any kind of inherent goodness or any kind of special something about the thing. It's what it's been set aside to perform. The burning bush, remember Moses looks up on the hill, sees a burning bush, goes to, investigate? Was it a special kind of bush? No, it's just a bush. But God chose that bush. And whenever Moses came up, he said, remove the sandals from your feet. The ground you stand on is holy. What made it holy? It was dirt. And it was just a bush. It's God's presence. And what he had chose to take that ordinary thing and use it for a special purpose. Whenever they made the tabernacle in the desert, it's just a tent. It wasn't special wood. It wasn't any special canvas. It's just a tent. What made it sacred was that was a special tent for a special purpose. Same thing with the temple instruments, right? Whenever they go in the temple and they had bowls and cups and incense burners and all that kind of stuff, anything special about them? They're like any other bowl or cup you could have, but they had a special purpose. This building, I love this building. I wasn't here when it got built. Y'all did a good job. Is this sacred? Is there anything special about this building that makes it holy? No, the reason it's holy, the reason it's considered sacred is because it is set apart for a special purpose of honoring and praising God. You, yes you, says you are the temple. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So you are holy. It says you are the holy church. What makes you holy is because you're so much more special. That's how people act. Sadly, sometimes that's how Christians act. I'm so much better than other people. I was smart enough to follow Jesus. Or that's how people think we feel. That's how they view us. Oh, you Christians, you just think you're so much better than everybody else. No. Because we recognize what makes us special is nothing except for that God said, I have a special purpose for you. That's what makes us holy, separate, set apart for sacred, is the purpose that we have been given. But we are absolutely ordinary. Like everything else, an ordinary thing made for a sacred purpose. We're not saved because we're special. If you look out at the people of the world who don't know Jesus, we're no less of a sinner than they are. We're not less prideful. We're not less selfish. We're no less broken and messed up. That's what makes his love so amazing. I love this quote. I heard this. Realize this. The church is the only institution that requires you to be wicked in order to join. Everywhere else, whenever you're wanting members, you're wanting to kind of screen them out and make sure you don't get the riffraff. We want the riffraff. If you're not riffraff, you can't come in. That's the whole thing. You have to first admit that you are the riffraff, that you are the dregs, that you are the sinners, that you are the unwanted. And you go, Jesus, please save me. And he says, okay, I'm going to take you, ordinary person, and set you aside for a special purpose. Sinners taken by God, called according to his purpose, made sacred and set apart. So we are indwelt by the Holy Spirit and made one body through Christ.
Lord, though I feel the darkness come, I will not fear. You've ransomed me with blood.